Okay, so good morning, everyone. We're going to start today. So today is Monday. Huh?
Monday,
Uh, yeah,
12th,
Monday,
holiday,
Monday the 12th. Huh?
12th,
Monday the 12th, 12th of
12th,
July. Hmm,
12th, July.
12th of July. So we are still talking about the Brahma Vihara, the last
We
one.
had a
Okay. Before going into this, the study, anyone wants to share anything? Any stories or any experience?
สุทธิยาโนจุติยาโยยาโยกับ
ชุติชโยอาจารย์
อ๋อชัยโยทำไม
ใช่
ทำไม
ใช่
ภาษาอังกฤษเป็นงั้นชัยโยชาโยอย่างนี้เหรอ
ครับ
จุติชัยโย
Okay, Ajahn, I will share. I have two stories to tell.
Okay.
So it's about the topic which we are talking about. Maybe it's about mudita, the story about mudita. Rejoice. There was two similar stories about the mudita, rejoicing on the other's merit. And this story is really interesting. When I read this story, and I think it's very useful, and I usually used to give this preach, this teaching to the devotees too. So the story is about an Vishakha Upasika. Everyone maybe heard the name of the Upasika Visakha. She was the greatest lay woman at the Lord Buddha's time. And she had made a temple called the Buparam in the kingdom called the Kosal range. At that time, the king who ruled that kingdom was Pasenjit, King Pasenjit. And she have a lots of faith on the Lord Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha in the Triple Gems. And according to the story that it has been told that she has seen a Dhamma eye when she was only 7 years old. And then when she got married and living with her husband, and then she has a one dream that she wants to make one temple to the Lord Buddha in the Buddhism, Buddha Sasana. And then actually she made a one temple called a Buparam. And then when she made the temple, and then there were lots of friends, about 500 friends of her. And then just like she called the Lord Buddha and his disciple, about 500 disciples, just like giving arms around inside the temple and giving a fruits to the monk. And then after that, she donated the temple Buparam to the Lord Buddha as a sign that she poured the water on the hand of the Lord Buddha. And then when she made a greatest merit, giving a dana, just like giving a temple as a dana. And then she was very happy, joyful, peaceful. And then she announced in the Dhamma hall, in front of all the people who are there, that with these merits that I have made, how much merits that I got, may I distribute that all merits to all of you, all the living beings. May all of you rejoice in this merit. So she shared her merits to all the men, women, all the devotees who were there. And then among the 500 friends, there were one best friend of her. She really rejoiced that made it as she made her own self that temple. There were lots of people, lots of friends. They also just like said that sadhu anumodana. Lots of friends said, but this friend, her best friend, was little bit different than others. She really rejoiced that as self that she made that own temple by herself and rejoiced that merit too that Nang Visakha has distributed that merit. So in the story that has been told that when she died, because of that little merits that she have made, that she had told Anumodhana Sadhu, but she did it all with her heart. And then when she died, she has a reborn in the heaven called the Tritingsa Devolok, second layer of the heaven land. And then when the Visakha, she died, then she reborn as a deity's goddess in the fifth heaven land, Nimma Naradi. She was a queen of that heaven. Actually, there was a king and she was a queen of that heaven. And then once one time that Visakha, she remember her friend. She just like she remember and she want to meet her friend. So she decided to go and meet her friend. So she was wondering that where is her friend right now, and so then she used her magical powers to see that where is her friend, and then she realized that her friend is in the Triting Sadevalo. She is also become as a fairy or a deity in that heaven land, and then they went. She went to meet her, and they have a talk, and then she said that I reborn in the second heaven land because you share that merit at that time when you made a Bupharam temple and donate to the Lord Buddha. And when you said to rejoice on that merit, I did it with all my heart, and I rejoice on that merit. Because of that punya, I reborn in this heaven. So this was a story about the mudita. Even when we really rejoice with that, with our all the heart and happiness in that merit, and then it's have a lots of punya. Okay, and this is the one first story, and there are lots of stories about the topic we are talking. But another one is about the one monk. In the Buddha's time, there was a one layman, and then this layman has a lots of faith in the Lord Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. And actually, he is married. He has a beautiful wife, and maybe because of his last punya, past punya, it makes him think that to be in the worldly life, it is very suffering. I think I may have a chance to ordinate as a monk and become a monk. So he was wondering to become a monk. Mhm. He was seeing the chance, and then when he got a chance, then he asked to her wife that I want to become a monk. Actually, first of all, she didn't reply the answer. She don't want to. She don't want him to become a monk, because if he become a monk, then she will be alone. So she didn't give an answer. And then what happened was once again this layman come again and again and requested her to become a monk. And then because of requesting many times, and And she saw that he has lots of faith in Lord Buddha and Dhamma and Sangha. And then she replied that, okay, if you want to become a monk, then I won't harm you. You can become a monk. And when he got a permission from her wife, and then he went to the temple called Jetavanaram and met to the Lord Buddha and become a monk. When he become a monk, then he practiced in the meditation, Vipassana Bhavana, Vipassana Thura. And then for not a long time, he become a arhat. And after that, what happened was when he became a monk, and then her wife was in the home alone, and her wife was missing him very much. And at that time, she always used to come to the temple, outside of the temple, not going inside the temple, but outside of the temple in the wall. She was waiting for her husband, past husband, and looking by the side, outside of the wall, outside of the temple. And then once upon a time, one time there was a king Pasenjit come to the temple to meet the Lord Buddha. And then he realized that there was one woman outside of the temple crying and looking for someone. And then what happened was, and the king asked to that woman that, why are you outside of the temple? Why don't you go inside? And why are you crying? And she replied that, I miss my husband very much. He has already ordained as a monk now. So I don't want to go inside the temple. When we meet, maybe it will be the problem for him. So I am sitting outside and crying outside of the temple. So she replied. And then what happened was, the king said to that woman that, okay, if you are alone, you have no any friends, then you can come to my palace and work there. So the king gave a place to her to come and work in the palace. And the king also looked her very uh, just like giving a good work, and whatever she want to do, so she can do anything she want, just like that. And then when she was working inside the palace, and then what happened was, there was a one just like what we say, the smelly flower, fragrant 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 flower. And then when the king actually distribute the fragrant flower to all the men and women inside the palace who work inside the palace. And then when she got the flower, then she was very happy that even the king gave this flower to her. All were very happy. And then once again she cried because of seeing this flower, because of the smell of that flower, fragrant of the flower. And then when the king saw that she's crying again, and then asked her, now why are you crying again? And then she replied that, because I remember I missed my husband. And then the king said, why you seeing this flower and crying again? And then she told that, because of this good smell, fragrant smell in this flower, I miss my husband very much. And then she told that, just like the fragrant of the flower, good smell of the flower, when my past husband used to spill or something, or used to talk, then there is a good smell come out from his mouth. And then the king didn't believe that, what that woman told to the king. And then king want to prove, test that is he telling the truth or not. And so then in the next day, actually the king Pasenjit went to the Jetwan temple and requested to the Lord Buddha that I want to give a donation, dana, to Lord Buddha and your disciples, 500 disciples, and also give just like invited that monk too, that monk who was a husband of that woman. And then Lord Buddha accepted that invitation, and then in the next day Buddha went with his disciple, 500 disciples, to the palace of the king Pasenjit. Actually, the king Pasenjit brought many other species of the flowers, which was very fragrant smell, very smelly flowers. And he told to his men and women to decorate all over the palace, inside that room where the Lord Buddha and the disciple were going to come. And then what happened was, actually King Pasenjit gave a dana, donation, to Lord Buddha and all of his disciples, 500 disciples. And at last, the king Pasenjit wants to test that monk, is is that true as that woman told or not. So the king Pasenjit requested to the Lord Buddha that Lord Buddha and all the monks can go back to the temple Jetwan, except that monk who was a past husband of that woman. So that monk can please me, tell some Dhamma stories or like that. And then Lord Buddha knows that the king Pasenjit want to taste, then he accepted that invitation. And then Lord Buddha told that monk to stay here for the preaching to the king. And then what happened was, the monk was sitting on the asana, on the seat that the king's man has already prepared for the asana. And then he began to start the preaching to the king Pasenjit and all the men and women who used to serve to the king. And when he began to preach, there was a amazing fragrant smell. There was amazing good smell coming out from his mouth. Don't forget that inside the palace, there are lots of other flowers, which is very smelly, fragrant flowers, decorated by the king Pasenjit. And because of that monk's good smell, which was coming out from his mouth, it just like all the others flower smell was uh, what we call clop
Over.
Over.
over
Yes.
drown over drown out all the smell which was decorated. And uh, and then the king also amazed that, what kinds of very good smell, fragrant smell that is coming out from the monk, this monk. And then he believed to that woman that, oh, this is real, when what she was telling me. And then when that monk finished to preach, then he went back to the Chitwan temple. And then King Pasenjit, next day, the King Pasenjit went to the Jetwan temple and asked to the Lord Buddha that what kinds of good deeds he have done in his past life, this monk. And then Lord Buddha told that when he was in the past, he was a layman, and he have a lots of faith on the Lord Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, and he was practicing a virtual life. He was accepting the 5 precepts. And then whenever there was just like the one pra, and what we call in the English one pra, monk's day.
Holiday.
Monk's
Holy.
holiday. Just
Holy.
like and then he usually went to listen the Dhamma. And when he listened to the Dhamma, he have a lots of joys, bliss, and the happiness in his heart. And whenever he listened to the Dhamma, he listened very carefully till until the end of the Dhamma. And when he listened until to the end of the Dhamma, and then he always used to say that sadhu, 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 anumodhana with his all his heart. And because of that good meritorious deeds he have made in his past life, and whenever he have a reborn, and then that fragrant smell, good smell come out from his mouth. Whenever he talk or whenever he used to go anywhere, and when he used to conversation with someone, then the smell, good smell come out from his mouth every life. And this is the last life of his, because he have already attained uh, to the arhat. He has already achieved the arhat in the greatest achieve of the Buddhist way. And then when the king Pasenjit heard that, he was very happy and and then blissful. And then again he got a just like the idea that, oh, because of uh, saying only the sadhu, uh, just like mudita, or rejoicing on that merit, and it has a lots of fruition, lots of benefits. And then king went back to Paris. So this was another story that I want to tell, that even if we do any good deeds, and then not only to others, saying sadhu, or rejoicing on the other merits, even when we do ourselves, by doing good self and rejoicing on our own merits, also have a lots of benefits, and benefits and uh, benefits on it. Okay, thank you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank,
Sadhu, sadhu, anamotami.
Sadhu.
thank you for these lovely stories. Yeah.
Good.
So,
Never hear before.
okay. So,
What's his name? What is the the Piku?
Actually, I don't remember the name of the bhikkhu, but there is a story about this one
Okay, thank you.
in Atthakatha Thammapada.
Thank you
okay. So, thank you very much.
very much.
Now, we will study on
Yes.
another. Let me, just let me share PowerPoint. Okay. Can you see? I will share it.
Hey, nice. Now,
Okay.
okay.
So this is coming from, like, we are coming to the end of this Brahma Vihara. So let me go to the top.
We go to the top. Compassion.
Let me go to the top. Computer is too slow. Okay. So this is what we were talking about, the Brahma Vihara. And this Brahma Vihara is for divine abodes, and which we know that's a metta, karuna, mudita, and upekkha. And the metta is loving kindness, karuna is compassion, mudita is sympathetic joy, upekkha is equanimity. And we spend so many time, so long discussing on a metta. What is the metta? And then the metta is promote the aspects of a well-being of others. Yeah. and success is ill will subsides. And we went on studying about the detail what metta bhavana is and how to share metta bhavana. And we concentrated on Karaniya Metta Sutta, and explaining word by word and on the Karaniya Metta Sutta. And after that, we studied on the Karuna, which is a compassion. And this compassion again is it's a promotion of um, others, freeing others' suffering, and helping others. Then we studied that, and then mudita, which again Tannirod just told us a story on what mudita is, and even simple things, if we rejoice in it, then that also brings good results. And then we've been talking about the upekkha, which is the equanimity, and we talked about equanimity in different ways, yeah, and which means letting go of our own attachment to people or things. And this is a neutral mind, and success is no resentment and approval of us. When we discuss about a worldly matter, a worldly upekkha and a dhamma upekkha, and we focused on a last session. We discussed on two discourses. One is Sakappanna from Digha Nikaya, and then another one from Majjhima Nikaya, the Salayatana Vibhanga, 137. And then we also discuss on different aspects of the upekkha, like upekkha in Vedana, upekkha in the pro-Brahma Viharas, upekkha in Bojjhangas, and upekkha jnana in the jnanas, and sukha, indriya, and upekhopa vichara. So that we discussed last session. Now, what is the difference between the jhana and bojjhanga? Yeah, the upekkha in jhana. Right? What is the difference between upekkha and jhana? What is the difference in? What is the difference in bojjhanga and jhana? So upekkha. So jhana, we talk about vitakka, vichara, piti, sukha, ekagata, and upekkha. Yeah, piti and upekkha. And in a bojjhanga also there is upekkha, that is sati bojjhanga, dhamma vichaya bojjhanga, virya bojjhanga, and piti bojjhanga, pasadi bojjhanga, samadhi bojjhanga, and upekkha bojjhanga. Okay, so what is the difference, do you think? Anyone wants to say anything?
Yeah, in my opinion, I think in jhana, it already told that jhana is to just like to focus thing, and then in that jhana, we are not able to just like we cannot achieve the state of the Sotapanna, Sagadagami, Anagami, or Arhat. But in the Bojjhanga, it has already told that the meaning of Bojjhanga is to achieve uh, those states. When we use those virtues, then it is able to achieve on that state. Sotapanna, Sagadagami, Anagami, and Arhat.
Okay.
Bhajanga Upekkha is born out of wisdom and seeing things as they are, whereas jhana is just high concentration.
Okay. Seeing things as they are. Okay. And this is the jhana is a high concentration.
Just one thing. So
Huh?
everything else is shut out. So
Everything shut down. Okay. So this is the difference. So that's why jhana cannot lead to vipassana, right? Insight. Cannot lead to insight. Bojanga born of insight. Okay. So this is the difference. And here I've written here this one. I will copy this one and then put this one here. Okay, so in the samatha meditation, is falling into trance or a bhagwanga chitta because of the ekagata. Mind is being one pointless awareness. It has got the sati, mindfulness, but it hasn't got sampajanya. Okay, it hasn't got sampajanya. No. So it can't cut. And sati here, in a sense that mind is fully absorbed in one object. So mind is mindful of one object all the time. So that's why there is a sati, but it's not cutting through. Okay, and as a result of that, mind is simply attaining the jhana, and then that is staying in the fourth jhana. Fourth jhana. So in the fourth jhana is basically having ekagata and upekkha. Right? So this is the fourth jhana. Mind is ekagata and then an upekkha, discarding any other things apart from just the one object that one is paying attention to. And that is also sometimes called bhavanga, bhavanga chitta. Okay? And it doesn't give any insight unless someone overcome from that upekkha or letting go of that attainment. Then one can practice the insight. It's called, and it's become a sammajnana. Okay, that becomes a sammajnana. Otherwise, if one does not overcome, that becomes upakilesa. Upakilesa, one of the upakilesas. Okay, so that becomes one of the upakilesas in 16 upakilesas. Yeah, so becomes one of the upakilesas. So that basically enjoying that ekagata and freeing oneself from all the disturbances, and that is the normal wish of many people. They want to have a switched off mind and only concentrating on what they like. So that is, and whereas here in sammajnana, basically in insight, this is the bojanga It's not having just a one concentrated mind, but having overcome and understood the six senses. Okay, six senses, and that's become the sammanyana, and it has got not just the sati, the mindfulness of what's going on, but also sampajanya, sampajanya, knowing the reality of it, and then understanding the panya here, three characteristics. The tilakkhana, tilakkhana, three characteristics, and that's how it leads to the noble Arya, Arya Puggala. So that's how a person who a person who has developed Bojanga becomes the Arya. And if we look at the Satipatthana or Anapanasati, so Anapanasati as the base, a person who practices the Anapanasati that fulfills the Satipatthana, and a person who fulfills the Satipatthana fulfills develops, cultivates the Bojanga, and a person who cultivates the Bojanga that leads to Vidya and Vimutti, yeah, and Vidya and Vimutti, and that's how one will be living as a Arhat, noble person. So that is what we need to understand, the difference. Meanwhile, I think we have talked about this one, Adukkha Sukha Vedana as well. In the Vedana, so this is a Upekkha Vedana is Adukkha Sukha Vedana in the Vedana Pasana, or in Vedana in 5 aggregate also comes this Adukkha Sukha Vedana. Okay, categories in Vedana. So here again, in the categories of Adukkha Sukha, we have to understand that sixth sense comes to contact, salayatana, salayatana comes to contact with the objects, yeah, then creates the feeling. At this moment is no feeling as Vedana, as the Sukha or Dukkha. The moment when there is Raga, Dosa, Moha, the Hetu, okay, Hetu, and which is Raga, Dvesa, Moha, or Lobha, Dosa, Moha, Dosa and Moha comes to action, then it becomes Sukha and Dukkha. Yeah, Sukha or Dukkha, or Adukkha Sukha, Adukkha Sukha. Okay, so that's how this Upekkha becomes Adukkha Sukha. And this Adukkha Sukha is, it hasn't got this Lobha, Dosa and Moha at that moment. Right? So that's why it's a Upekkha. You don't know what it is. You don't understand what's going on. But you know there is a contact, and it has brought some kind of a feeling or a spark. Yeah? So that is the Adukkha Sukha. That's in the Panchakhanda. Yeah? And the Vedana section. Okay, so the moment when that comes into the wisdom section, you have sampajanya and panya. Sampajanya, understanding the arising and of that and a vanishing of it, rapidly going on, and a panya, understanding that these are impermanent. Yeah? And that's how one becomes the Arya Puggala. Now, this is how to practice. And in a practice, this is from the Brahma Vihara. Okay, this is from the Brahma Vihara practice. So in order to practice a Brahma Vihara properly, one has to attain at least of a third jhana, and also seeing the danger of practicing a metta, practicing of a karuna, and a practicing of a mudita. And do you why do you have any thought on that? Seeing the danger in the formal practices. This is seeing the danger of a practicing metta, karuna, and mudita. Why do you think?
Raga.
Huh?
Raga and Bhavatanha.
Yeah, so raga, bhavatanha. Anyone? Now, Than Kon,
ครั
do
บ
you understand?
นิดหน่อยครับ
Okay.
พยายามฟังไปเรื่อยๆครับ
So to practice upekkha, we have to attain at least third jhana, and then seeing the danger in metta, karuna, mudita, and mudita.
Still, it causes kusala karma, but it still causes karma. So this keeps you trapped.
Yeah.
Just like I have one point of view from my side.
Okay.
When we talk about the Mahayana, have you ever seen the Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva?
Yes.
Sorry?
Avalokiteshvara.
Oh, yeah.
Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva. And then we can see the one of the posture that that Lord Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva is sitting in this position. This one. Just like my hand is
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. Have you ever seen this posture?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that means not to go in the good side, not to go in the bad side, in the middle side. Just like upekkha.
Yeah.
If we just like Achan asked the question that should we should see danger in the form of metta, karuna, and mudita. If we are again going through those actions, metta, karuna, mudita, that means we are still in this worldly. We cannot go throughout or overcome from these worldly actions.
Yeah.
We are still producing karma, it's chetana.
Yeah. Kusala. Right? So there is in the Patana says Purima kusala nang kusala Purima kusala dhamma Pachimanang kusala nang dhammanang. Similarly, yes, kusalanang dhammanang, but can be abhayakata, so unknown. Okay, so that's why it's still going into that cycle, and seeing that danger, one has to practice the upekkha. Okay, and in the practice of upekkha, first there is a way. See the sign. Think of the sign of that person or other people, and then repeatedly practicing. So here I've written here, abandoning interestedness, thinking may they be free from enmity and recourse the neutrality. So this is how It's the Abhidhamma, not Abhidhamma, Visuddhimagga is saying. So it's a channeling to other people, towards other people, that whoever has got any enmity, or if I have an enmity towards others, then coming back to the neutrality. So neutral position. And this is, I think, one of the hard part to understand. Very hard part to understand. I think there's one book.
Oh, it's in the alphabet.
Okay. So this is the upekkha, and upekkha is also one of the chittas only. Okay, in when it comes to the arambana. So that's why in a sammanyana, or in a practice of insight meditation, in order to be developing it into the bojanga, in that one has to know that the alambana is just one arambana, one of the chittas among the many chittas. So here, upekkha means to view impartiality, that is, with neither attachment nor aversion. It is not hedonic indifference, but perfect equanimity or well-balanced mind. It is the balanced state of a mind amidst all vicissitudes of life, such as praise and blame, pain and happiness, gain and loss, rapture and disrapture. Repute and disrepute. So this is coming from the Mangala Sutta, the last one. Its direct enemy is attachment, raga, and its indirect enemy is closeness. Upekkha discards clinging and aversion. Impartial attitude is its chief character. Here, upekkha does not mean mere neutral feeling, but implies a sterling virtue. Equanimity, mental equilibrium are its closest equivalents. Upekkha embraces the good and the bad, the loved and the unloved, the pleasant and the unpleasant. And so Visuddhimagga describes in detail the method to cultivate the Brahma Vihara in order to develop the jhanas. Okay? And obviously after that, there's another also. Couldn't find. Okay, maybe this is, maybe I remember, I couldn't remember exactly. I thought in this book somewhere he was talking about upekkha. Oh, that's maybe upekkha parami. Yeah. So yes, in upekkha parami says, in upekkha parami, it's a 10th parami. The Pali term upekkha is composed of upa, which means justly, impartially, or rightly, and ikkha, to see, discern, or view. The etymological meaning of the term is discerning rightly, viewing justly, or looking impartially. That is, without attachment or aversion, without favor or disfavor. So this is from this book. Okay, this book. And this book, in page number 606. Here the term is not used in the sense of indifferent or a neutral feeling. The most difficult and the most essential of all perfections is this equanimity.
Enforce neutrality.
Especially for a layman who has to live in a ill-balanced world with a fluctuation fortune. So that's why this is very difficult subject of upekkha to understand. But however, once we practice and gradually it will come. Now, this is my question, and this will be the last. What is the highest attainment of metta? What do you think? What is the highest?
What do you mean?
Highest attainment.
Attainment.
Yeah. Suppose, so Brahma Vihara or Brahma Vihara practice leads to Brahma world. Similarly, now individually, metta, where does it lead?
What if you just do metta?
Yeah.
Like do nothing else but metta.
No, I mean others will be there, but mainly focusing on one practice.
With what aim? For nibbana or just for feeling
That's
good?
fine. What do you think?
If you practice with the aim of nibbana, you could, because then you could turn it into vipassana.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
if you do metta, then just brahma.
Okay. So what is other thing? The attainment of a practice of a metta.
I don't know. Can't say.
Hmm.
Maybe anagami. I don't know. It's too complex question.
Hmm. Okay. So according to Visuddhimagga, a person who practices the metta sees world, all the world becomes beautiful or subha.
It's, moha. What, even the unbeautiful is seen as beautiful?
Everything is like, you know, okay.
So like someone on drugs.
It's still, if someone is on a drugs and if she or he can't live without drug, he will be okay with that. See, right? So everything becomes a positive. Seeing positivity.
Even in negative. Yeah.
You have to see the condition of that person. You have no judgments.
Okay. So that's pretty much upekkha then. If you like
Positive.
somebody else, I don't know.
Okay, so this is I will show you. This is a metta. This is a karuna. This is mudita, and this is upekkha. So a person who practices the metta says subham, beautiful as the highest attainment. Karuna is infinity of space, akasanchayatana. Alright, so this is the attainment. And mudita, infinity of consciousness, vinyananjayatana. And then upekkha is infinity of nothingness. Okay, so this one can attain, but neva sanya na sanyayatana and nibbana hasn't been developed by Brahma Vihara.
So it leads to the formless realms.
Right? So this is the highest attainment from practicing the metta as the Brahma Vihara. So that's why each one has got the different levels of seeing the world indifferently.
So is this for one who does this only, like who gets really good at it, like unlike doing anapanasati or turning into vipassana for the purpose of nibbana?
So that's why early on I said, after attainment of upekkha, if you do not overcome, that becomes upakilesa.
You just get stuck there.
Yeah. But if you overcome, then if overcome, then leads to sammayana. Okay. So this is the end of the Brahma Vihara. And this is the one that that's why previously I said there is one thing I want to cover, the attainment, highest attainments of each Brahma Viharas. Okay. Neva sanya na sanya yatana. Okay. And this is also quite interesting. Now, anyone has got any other thoughts? Anyone wants to say anything? Sharing? Well, Thankon,
จด
anything
ไม่
you
ทันค
want
รับอาจารย์กำลังจดอยู่ เดี๋ยวกำลังจดอยู่ develop by form พรหมวิหาร พรหมวิหาร not come not overcome อุปกิเลสตา
So here one thing says that metta embraces all beings, karuna embraces sufferers, mudita embraces the prosperous, and equanimity, upekkha, embraces the good and the bad, the loved and the unloved, the pleasant and the unpleasantness.
Who write this book อาจารย์
This is a Narada ที่วัดก็มีหนังสือนี่
who write
Narada บันเต Narada
Narada
Okay.
ครับ
Very nice.
So this is the Brahma Vihara. So we end Brahma Vihara today after a few weeks of learning and talking. Upekkha is one of the hard one, but I think we understand the basic idea of what upekkha is.
It all goes back to conditioning and the samadhi.
Yeah. Here, sammanyana, it comes to the paticca samuppada later. That things, condition arises. That's how you free yourself, and that's how you live as a, it's called, and that's why you live with this, what is it called? Sankharupekkayana. Yeah. This one. Non-stop equanimity you have.
Sankhara upekkha jnana. Is on the list of the jnanas full person,
Yeah.
which is the last one.
No, this is not the last one. This is just the beginning of it. Beginning of the this seeing the real conditionality. Okay. Are we all okay with this now? Anyone has got a story to tell now? Thankon, tell us a story on
No
upekkha.
have story. No have story. No
ต้องบอก
have
ว่า don't
story.
have story ท่านอาจารย์ก่อนต้องบอกว่า I don't have stories.
Oh, I don't have story. Thank you, Ne. I don't have story.
Okay.
I don't
Huh?
have
Story. I don't
have story.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you
I don't have. I don't have story.
Okay. So we actually, this is the end of Brahma Vihara section. Okay. That's Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekkha. Now, if anyone has got the story, you can tell.
So what will be the next topic, next section, Dan?
Okay, good question. I don't know yet. Which one should we go? Let me see.
Bojangas.
Bojanga? Let me see first.
I don't have story.
Picking from Nagtham 3. So after, what is after Brahma Vihara? Oh, Arya Satcha. Do you want to go Arya Satcha or Anantariya Kamma, Abhinna Pachavekana? Okay, we can go Arya Satcha.
Did already, no?
Oh, we have done so many times Arya Satcha. Okay, let's go to Anantariya Kamma. That will be Panchaka now.
Panchaka.
Yeah, Panchaka, Arya Satcha. Yeah, okay. Panchaka, Anantariya Kamma. Okay, so next day after tomorrow, we will discuss on Anantariya Kamma. You can go and study and tell me story on that. Okay.
Okay, story. Story Anantariya Kamma.
Anantariya Kamma. There's Moggallana's Kamma, Moggallana.
Yes.
Yeah.
To blind father and mother.
Yeah, and Ajatasattu, and who else? Devadatta.
Devatat. Yes.
Actually, there are altogether
Bhikkhu, Sampi.
Yeah.
five people in the Buddha's time that they went to the hell because of the Anantariya karma.
Okay, so we will hear that next week. Sorry, next session, day after tomorrow. So I don't have to prepare any stories there. Yeah, you all have to prepare stories.
Oh, the guy who raped Upalavan.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is not come under here.
No,
No, that doesn't come under there.
he did get dragged to hell straight away.
But that's not the Anantariya karma. Okay. So today we finish a little early. Okay.
Can I ask a question, Achan?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Waiting for it.
Okay. I have one question arising in my head that if lay devotees we have a faith in the Lord Dhamma, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and then they came to temple to donate some foods, vegetables, or some fruits, etc. And then if there are lots of fruits, food, vegetables, and then when it is the monks have already used it, and then if monks take that food, vegetables, fruits, and give it to the another person, is there a punya equal to the man who gave a dana as the first one?
Yes. If she or he gives with a great faith. After you have received, you are passing it on to somebody because you don't need it anymore. Then the person who offers receives the punya for sure, because that person has got the intention to offer. It's not after you have received, after monks have received it and then gave it to other people, then still punya is the same. It's up to a person who gave. If he or she can maintain that pristine intention to give dana and doesn't think of after I have given it to the monk, it's up to the monks. So not thinking the monk has given to whom, then it's okay. This still acquire the same merit. But if that person who gave thinks about it, oh, I gave it to the monks, and why monks have given it to somebody else, then that's become a dasa dana. Not the boss of it. That's not a malika dana, but hana dana. Become a dasa dana. And then again, as a monk, if the monk has given it to other person who is in need, the real need, and if that person praises that giving, then a person who gave, that person will receive furthermore results as well, because of the another person's anumodana that passes through. The monk hasn't got any attachment on that and pass it on. So with that, the first person who gave will gain more merits too. Do you okay? Do you understand?
Yeah, Ajahn, I understand. I was reflecting on the saying you said.
Yeah. So like that. So it's up to a person who gave and a monk who transferred it to somebody else. Their intention, based on their intention. Now the best thing is a person who offer is not attached to that offering. And after offered, whatever monk will do is up to the monk. Then okay. Otherwise, it becomes a dasadana, which is not good.
See, I had a thought about dana as food. See, like our body is made from ahara, right? So when we eat the food, it becomes part of us.
Yeah.
So whatever good things we do, even teaching Dhamma, things like this, the person who gave dana can benefit from that as well.
Yes.
Like just the body of the monk.
Yeah.
Good things is that.
Yeah.
So giving food is really such a big source of merit for people.
Yeah. That's why in Anguttara Nikaya also Buddha said, you give food, and because of that you are giving a strength. As ayu vanna sukha pala, 4, right? And because of that, a monk is doing something good, then also returning merits furthermore.
So it's an eternal source of merit, not eternal, it's a very long-term source of merit in a way.
That's why Buddha also encouraged people to do the communal offerings, like planting a tree, building the temples, building the hospitals. Then that also always people, those who use it, they will be appreciating it, and that appreciation will be thinking of a person who has given the dana. So that's how the merit will be transferred throughout the time. Yeah.
Like Anathapindika's dana is still
there.
benefit.
Yeah. And we still think about him.
Yeah. And all the great monuments as well, the stupas in Sri Lanka and Thailand.
So that's why these are the taken as a great dana, and that's why the Dhamma is given a most priority, the Dhamma Dhamma. That is not just the freeing the current suffering, but it frees you from the samsara, leading to free the samsara.
Like Venerable Narada's dana is still talked about. He's passed away a long time ago.
Yeah. It's like a Buddha Gosa. See?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even all the monks who recited, remembered, wrote.
Yeah.
And that's like a Chakanusati Kamatha.
Chaganusati.
Recollection.
Okay. Achan Kon, do you have anything? Otherwise, we will say goodbye.
Oh, I can't say goodbye.
Huh?
I don't have story.
No, question.
You can ask.
I don't have question.
Where have you been yesterday?
And in the southern, it's near Brighton. No, Brighton.
Okay.
Maybe.
What did you do?
Oh, go eat food, chanting.กินไงแล้วพูดไงแล้วพูดไงครับอาจารย์กินข้าว
Did you go to visit anywhere?
Yes, in the home who donate donate something for the temple. For chanting, celebrate at home. He knows see long time, knows see long time. Many person he come here.
How many months went?
3 months.
3
months. Yes, 3 months.
Okay.
เจ้าคุณอาจารย์พีระ and my
me.
me.
How many monks are there now?
Yes, now in temple.
Yes.
6 months.
6 months.
Yes, 6 months. 6 months.
Okay. What do you do in the temple every day?
Oh, in the morning I'm chanting, and in the evening I'm chanting again. And if I have request for the airport. I made like he request, and I correct receipt at it, yeah, in correct receipt what he buy, and correct in gift aid.
Gift aid.
Gift aid.
Accountant.
Correct person, many person, and in the gift aid. Excel. Yes.
Okay. What time do you do chanting?
6 o'clock, early morning and evening, the same time, 6 p.m. and
Do you take a breakfast?
Maybe 11:30.
Breakfast.
Oh,
breakfast.
no, 7:30 every day.
7:30
a.m.
Okay. So today, what did you have a breakfast?
It's boiled rice with a salmon soup. เรียกว่าไงอาจารย์ข้าวต้ม
Rice soup.
ไรซุปไรซุปอันนี้มันต่างหากแล้วอาจารย์มันไม่ได้มีซุปอยู่ข้างในนะเขาเรียกอะไรไรซุปโอเคไรซุปไรซุปไรซุปไรซุปand อะไรก็fry
porridge. Okay.
porridge
Yeah, porridge. Yeah.
Porridge.
Who made it?
Curry
Did
morning. Curry morning fry.
Did you make it?
No. If you have person come, Miss Malik and Miss Lek, he come.
Okay.
Clear by. If he not come, I help Miss Lek to help to cook.
So you go and help cooking.
Yes, go and help cooking.
Are you a good chef?
No, good chef.
No.
I have just cut and prepare many things.
He is a good chef.
Good. Oh, what kind of food you make?
Now I just boil things. But before I became a monk, I worked as a chef for 5 years.
What kind of your food? Indian,
Italian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Carbonara, I like it. No, chef. Oh, I will go to see you again one time.
You won't like my food anymore. Now I just boil everything together and eat it.
Okay.
Big chef.
Okay. So we end here now. Okay. We'll see you on the day after tomorrow.
Come.
Okay. Thank you. See you.